Welcome to Politics Unplugged. President Trump's new tax plan calls for sweeping tax cuts and a dramatic simplification of the current tax code. And some of the highlights: he wants to reduce the number of personal income tax brackets from 7 to 3. He also wants to double the standard deduction for married and single filers and slash the corporate rate from 35 to 20%. So what does this mean to you? Well, we've asked two gentlemen to join us today. Mac Klaus from the University of Denver's Daniels School of Business. Mac, thank you for being here. Also, Jeff Wasden from the Colorado Business Roundtable. Thank you both for being here. I know we're all game for simplification of the whole taxing business of taxation. So is this on the right path? Mac, I'll start with you.
I think so. I think we've been hearing about tax reform all through the political campaign, and now we finally get to see if some of that's going to happen and come true. And anything that can be done to simplify the tax code for both businesses and individuals is a huge plus.
I know some of what the president has said is that this was designed with the middle class in mind. Is that how you see this working?
Yeah, I think as you look at the types of reforms and what they're doing to condense bracket and simplification, they're really the latest proposal on this America First tax relief plan focuses on three main tenets, right? Make it simple, make it fair, bring it home, and win again. And as you look at those and reducing the deductions and the loopholes that are there, increasing the standard deductions, limiting things like the death tax, the alternative minimum tax, but at the same time taking care of increasing the child care credits that are there, the mortgage deductions, and ensuring that the middle class gets taken care of, that this isn't a tax cut for the wealthy, that this is to stimulate the economy, to create jobs, to encourage investment, to repatriate funds that are parked overseas, and really get this economy jump-started.
And I think some of the complaints is that it doesn't give specifics. So yes, to talk about three tax brackets, 12%, 25%, and 35%, I think some people are concerned it doesn't say what income rates those apply to, right, Mac?
What we don't know is whether your income is going to make you end up with a lower rate or a higher rate than you had before, because there are no specifications as to what income categories those rates apply to. So there have been a lot of conclusions that people are talking about in the media, and they're really difficult to come to conclusions when you don't have the full numbers.
So when will we have those full numbers? When will people have a better understanding of what this is?
There's something that has to happen first, right? Congress needs to pass the budget resolution with the reconciliation instructions. That has to happen first and foremost in order to move through the reconciliation process, fast-track process. You're going to start to see that movement on the budget resolution through Congress next week. While that's happening, there'll be the ongoing discussions about putting really the meat on the bones of what the reform packages look like. There's some broad things for business, right? We talked about reducing the corporate tax rate from 35 to 20. As you look at our rate against the industrialized nations, putting it at 20 puts us below the standard average at 22%. Ensuring parity through our pass-through organizations, those S-corps, LLCs, sole proprietorships, and ensuring that they have a fair stake. The 100% deduction on capital expenses and things that allows business to make those critical investments in new technologies, new innovations, new equipment for up to 5 years will be a significant impetus for business to make those investments, to stimulate the economy, to grow their companies, and hopefully take care of their workforce with higher wages and again, increased jobs.
Sure, which all sounds great, except that that there have also been concerns about what this will cost in terms of the national debt.
Yeah. We have a $20 trillion national debt right now, and there's talk, some estimates, again, difficult to do at this point in time, but estimates that over the next 10 years, that could go up by another $6 trillion with lots of deficit budgets in those years, and that's something we've been trying to decrease, the budget deficit's been trying to do something about the national debt. The national debt gets especially scary if interest rates go up. Because if interest rates go up, when you look at the interest that we have to pay on the national debt, that becomes an even bigger number in the federal budget and takes away our ability to do the things we'd like to do.
So what happens with this proposal, say, for elderly who have high medical bills, for example?
Well, hopefully there hasn't been, they're not talking about changing the Medicare, Medicaid system, and they should be okay if that survives through all the politics that gives us a final decision.
The child care tax, where does that fit into this?
I think you'll see that expanded
because that's not been spelled out, correct?
Right, it's not been spelled out, but certainly from the administration, they're very interested in continuing to increase that. In addition to research and development, ensuring those types of things that spur investment and, again, work with the middle class to ensure that's there. And I would also say one other thing that's important is moving from the worldwide system into a territorial system, right? And the importance of bringing that money that's parked overseas on American profits so we can repatriate that's in the trillions of dollars, but also the opportunity on foreign profits that are earned there and paying a one-time fee and bringing that money, again, so business can continue to innovate and grow and expand and
do you think that
globally.
really will happen, Mac?
I do. I think that there are lots of things in this proposal that are good for business, and especially lots of things that are good for small business. The things that are going to allow the pass-through income to be taxed at rates less than personal tax rates, and other things that are going to promote small business, which is really the backbone of our economy. 97% of our businesses are small businesses.
So with less than a minute to go, and I'll give each of you about 20 seconds, what are the pitfalls? What should we be watching for with this tax code? What ideally should people get out of this?
I don't know that there's pitfalls. I think you're going to see a lot of special interest digging in to take care of those deductions and things that are important to them and their organizations. When we look at tax reform writ large and the President's plan of America First, those types of key tenets, those principles about win again, bring it home, fair and simplification are things that all Americans should be excited about, that'll be beneficial from top to bottom and certainly take care of the middle class.
And Mac, I'll let you have the last word.
I think the big issue is just what are we finally going to see when everything's all done? Because there's lots of good things in here. There's trade-offs with what's in here versus, as we said, the national debt and the spending and how do you pay for it. And what finally comes out may be a hodgepodge of these things that really now we can't predict.
So we get to wait and watch and see what Congress does. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for your time. We appreciate your insight. We are talking health care when we come back.